for the baby. So yeah, our first lovely ginger. This is Ty. She's actually 3 years old, but this is her first baby. She had issues. So yeah, she's a crowd favorite in this age group. She's a lovely cow from one of the top animals we've had in this herd. So yeah, you can see, because the heifer has the tag in the right ear, as the girls get, because the boys get the tag in the left ear, so all you can see is right ears. So she gets 2 tags, so the left ear, just like her mama. That means she stays. That's a definite. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of the 3-year-olds are starting to pop now. I think we're like 1/3 of the way done now. So yeah, the reason why I have a big belly is there's a calf in this pen that's been here for 4 days. And just whenever I'm in dropping off bales or yeah, we've got water in here. The drains, quite often when they start, when we get a thaw and the water starts running into the drains, and then we get a cold snap, it freezes the drains up. So later in the video, you're going to see what we do with the steam pressure washer. Here's one of our broccos. This is Punisher, that's area 51. Punisher that's in the 2-year-old's pen having her first baby. She's about to have it. This is her sister. Yeah, her mum makes really cool markings every year. So, go and see if we can find a little Getchy. I'm pretty sure it's up here because it hasn't moved very far. It was very lethargic yesterday. That's not her. Yeah, the cows have sort of ground to a halt, but then again, last year, we had our big tame bull, Vadicus. He was out working with the cows, as you can see, all these babies. And then the asshole bull, Horatio, he broke out, and he went out to the field, broke into the field, and beat the living snot out of Vadicus. So then we had to isolate Vadicus and just let Horatio go to work. But no, Horatio, instead of going out with the cows, being with the cows, he stood at the back of the yard and yelled at the other bull, Maximus, who was out in that field with the heifers. The heifers with Cavett foot to breed for them for their 2nd year, those guys. They were out in that field, Maximus was with them. So yeah, Horatio stood at the back of the yard and yelled at him. So he breaks out there, kicks the crap out of Vadicus, and then just stands at the back of the yard and yells obscenities at Maximus. As soon as we can get rid of that Horatio bull, the better, because he's an absolute a-hole. So yeah, so that, more the point of that story I was going with, before I completely forget to tell you, that's why we've ground to a halt. This is 2 days we haven't had any new calves in that pen. So I'm assuming that's when the fighting was going on out there. So we lost a couple of days. This lovely lady here, she's the one that she had a stillborn baby. And she's now taking this lovely little creature, because this is a twin. The mom was taking the twin, and then the next day woke up and decided didn't want a twin. So abandoned it. So she wanted it. We didn't have to skin her dead calf, nothing. We left the dead calf under her face in the headlock. I milked her by hand, got the calves started, and off they went. So yeah, a couple of days, and that was it. Right as rain. Yeah, and I'm looking at the bums a wee bit dirty, but the calf's not hurting for it. So yeah, we're just about a month into calving. 47 babies. So yeah, we're a 1/3 of the way done. Now you got to start watching for scours and stuff, especially with that standing water there. I'm hoping to get that dealt with, but like hopefully later in the video you'll see that. So I'll get to that little calf's right there. See what I mean? It's kind of laying there flat, so, but it's, once I wake it up, it'll drink. Anyway, let's go. So welcome to all your drains are blocked. So we have one here that runs under the road, goes under there, and in the middle of this loop here there's a huge puddle. So the drains in the cattle pens are frozen too, but we're about to get a cold spot. This one here, I know I can bust it loose and it will stay open because it's open at either end. And letting that water away from in the loop there, maybe I'll put a picture in here. So yeah, letting that water away, that will help the ground dry out and firm up, because with all that water there it stays soft. So what do? Well, I got one of these at a Fraser's Yard auction, brand new, and I got it for $1,700. So I think they're about $2.5 grand to buy. So it is a steam pressure washer. So through the tank in the back of the truck. Oh yeah, slip tank has sprung a leak. Awesome. So I have two lengths of this hose for the particular big long runs. But so what we do is we have one of these. So I made up these bits of adapters because you want it to be able to snake around T's and whatnot, so it has to be fairly accurate. So I don't know if I can, maybe if I come up to the truck. So you'll see there's one jet at the front. I'm going to see if you can see that. There's a jet at the back and another jet there. There's 4 jets pointing backwards and 1 pointing front. So the jets pointing backwards will force this to burrow in, and the jet at the front will cut through whatever, whether it's debris or even shale. This will cut through shale, especially with the steam running. So yeah, I'm going to fire this up. The one issue I've had with this is it kept blowing the fuse on the ignition that charges the battery. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to try it, but the condenser for the charging system was there right underneath the water. So I've unscrewed it and put it round, and I'm hanging it off the front to see if that makes a difference. If it does, I'll mount it more permanently. But I'm going to fire this up, get this started, and maybe bring you back. Sadly, the battery was dead, so I needed a wee boost, which is working now. So, you can hear me. So yeah, you pull it back and then you stab it in. You don't need to push it forward, it literally pulls itself in. Like you pull it back and it starts working its way back in. Now with plastic pipes it doesn't have as much to grip on, but if there is material, see there it goes. It's off and away by itself. Holy moly, it's drilling. So you can see the water coming out, that's mainly its own water right now. See, right now it's hard to even hold onto this hose. It gets hot. Okay, I gotta let out more hose. See, it fires the ice out backwards. Oh, I think we're pushing a big one. So, I contemplated not putting this in a video because kind of the point of these videos is entertainment to a degree. A lot of the farming stuff is really education as well. And if there's anybody watching this that's not in the farming world, this is also sort of some of the brutal truths about this job. So yeah, if you don't, you can skip past this if you want, but I don't know if you'll be able to know, but I haven't figured out what the title for this video will be, but you'll probably be able to guess from it. So we've had fairly good luck. We've had 4 sets of twins. 2 of the mums kept, both twins. One of the mums, she was an older cow. She had a twin that died, so she's over in the other pen. She's over in the other pen with the twin, and they're doing great. And the other one, she didn't want her baby, so the other baby has gone to a mum who had a stillborn calf. So that's great. So we're riding on a plus there. So earlier in the video, you saw me going out with a bottle to a calf that had decided going downhill. Long story short, the calf is dead. I tried everything I could. We've got the Borgal, we've got the Medicam, we're trying electrolytes, the colostrum, powdered milk. It was drinking and then it stopped drinking, and then we bagged it and we're bagging it and it stopped drinking completely, and yeah. So ended up there was blood in the stool. That's a game changer. So all we can think of was either perforated intestines, and talking to some other people, they figured it probably got stood on and messed up its insides, so it's gone. So yeah, that's a shitty deal. So that was yesterday. This is Sunday, so yeah, that was Saturday. But the nice thing was, all of a sudden, we had 2 first-timers in this pen calving, like they were full-blown going to calve. One had the bag showing, one didn't. And then we had a 3-year-old in the next pen. She was starting to calve too. So it was like awesome. All hands on deck. So in short order, this is Frodo. She's off one of the best cows we ever had on the farm. 987, the Duchess. We just call her Frodo because she's wonky looking, but she's a really, really nice mum. Case in point, look at this big boy. Lovely animal. She popped him out, no problem. Did what she had to do. So, I won't bother walking around. Needless to say, one of the 3-year-olds that's one of the favorites, Bowie, she had a massive bull calf. Gotta be 110 pounder. Big chungus. I just had to give her a little hand at the end, just pull the skin off the calf's nose because it was already part way out and needing to drink. Well, this is the one that was born today. There, that's it. There. So that's Bowie and her big lad. Big feet, big head. So yeah, doing great. This was doing great. Born this morning. Mrs. Piper Doug helped this one. So yeah, doing great. So meanwhile, the other first timer, she hadn't progressed. Bag was showing, bag wasn't burst. She would get up, lay down, get up, lay down. This is her standing right here. She's a really super nice wee cow. We've been working with her, and yeah, like she's quiet. She really wants to be a mummy. So this went on for about 2.5 hours. Getting close to 3 hours, the bag still wasn't bursting. I thought, nope, that's too long. Went and got my gear, came out, popped the bag, and lo and behold, a massive foot and a massive nose and a big fat tongue, still moving, but only 1 foot. So she's a decent sized heifer. So we knew we were in trouble. I couldn't get the foot to go back. the head, she was sort of headlocked in the pelvis at this point. Hey Ruby. So I hooked on the chains, I pulled with all my might, and she wasn't having it, she wasn't happy about it. So after 6 years of not having to use it, I went and got the calving machine out of the workshop. So we ended up in around about here. She took me for a ride on the chains, and then we got her here and put the machine on her and figured, hey Leah, figured we're gonna have to go. We're just gonna have to pull, because the calf was still alive at this point. I could see the nostrils flaring. And yeah, we knew we were gonna hurt her either way. The calf has to come out. So we started pulling and pulling and pulling, and it was a hard pull, and she was up, she was down, she was back, and she was forward. So needless to say, after about 40 minutes of fighting and trying not to hurt her, finally we got him out. And you can see by the size of my size 12-13 boot, he's a monster. Sorry to show graphic material here, but he's a 120 pounder. Yeah, and sadly, well, look at the size of the feet. Like, I'm a big guy. Look at these feet. So yeah, and the great part about all of this is, like you just saw, she's up on her feet. And that was one of the most important things about this, was that the wee girl would be okay. We can take the loss in the calf, but we can't take the loss in the calf and the heifer. So yeah, that calf's dead. Lost this one, but we got that win there, and we got that win there. So yeah, we kind of finished the day, and we were kind of down on ourselves. So I came back out last night after having a bit of a rest and Punisher here. Ah, poor Punisher. She's always been a bit of a standoffish girl, but she's a nice animal, and she will be staying. Well, sadly, Punisher got herself rolled upside down here, with her bum over here and a bag showing and her head over here. And there we have it. Another big beauty bull calf off of Lamar over there, but it was dead, and we think it's been dead for a few days. As you can see, it's quite gaunt. That's usually a sign that the baby hasn't had sustenance for a few days. The one thing we had noticed was she got really fresh for a while at the end of last week, and then her back end stopped being quite as jiggly, and her swollen quarters stopped being as swollen. So we think something happened with her, late term abortion or what happened. But yeah, so yeah, I pulled it by chain. I didn't have to use a machine on this. It is a big calf, but it came out the proper way, 2 feet 1 face. So yeah, so sorry to end this on a bit of a down note, but it's being real, guys and girls. It's not great news, but we take the wins. That's the thing we can be, just concentrate on that. Take the wins. Bowie's got a great big beautiful bull calf. One of our other second calvers had a lovely big calf this morning. So we'll concentrate on that and get up and do it all again tomorrow. So sorry to end on a crappy note. Maybe I'll try and stick something lighthearted in at the end. Oh, there we go. We hop, skip, and a jump.